Hello, welcome to Breath of Life Art Studio. I'm Josh Foreman, and this month we have kind of a special celebratory project for my celebration, not yours. Sorry, it's my anniversary. To this woman right here, ladies and gentlemen. This is my wife, Heather. We have been married for how many years now?
11 and a half.
10 years. We're going to say.
Oh.
We're rounding it down to 10.
Okay.
We've been married 10 years as of the beginning of this project. And so, let me just tell you a little bit about Heather real quick. She plays this beautiful piano. She just improvises. Listen to this. Just listen.
I'm really good.
She's really good, guys. Yeah, she's awesome. She also takes these amazing photographs, just like on her phone, and then puts fun filters, and look how cool they are. And at some point, we're going to find a way to like package these in a product for people and put it on a website. It's going to be rad. So yeah, look out for that. Besides being like super creative and fun and quirky and funny and beautiful and all those things, she also creatively collaborates with me, like this crazy AI love story video. And I was like, hey hon, this would be really funny. You should do this really random dumb thing with me. And she was like, I guess. No. It was fun. Go watch it. It's fun. We'll still be here. Okay, and the other thing that makes her perfect for me is that I often come in from the garage smelling of primer. And do you like the smell of primer?
I kind of do.
Yeah, it's weird, huh? I should just use it as cologne. Anyway, yeah, so, yeah, that's Heather. Now you know, and now you'll understand why, for our anniversary, I didn't want to do some just boring traditional thing like, here's some flowers, or let's go to dinner, or, like, here's an expensive diamond ring. She doesn't even like expensive jewelry. Anyway, point being, speaking of rings, so I wanted to do our hands together, right? But, well, you probably guessed from the thumbnail of this video that this has to do with Lifecasting hands. And so, I thought it'd be cool to do something. Look, I'm not even wearing my ring.
I know, I was just thinking, I was like, wow. I just put lotion on, so I don't really know.
Right, so sometimes when we feel like we're married, we wear our rings, but not when we're lotiony or doing art stuff. Anyway,
8.
Right, so our sculpture has our rings in the sculpture, and it's cool because like I designed the rings, like custom made them for us, and so this 10-year anniversary thing will have our hands, the number 10, and our rings, and how more personal could it possibly get, right? So,
It's very personal.
you are so lucky to have me as your husband.
Man.
Yeah. Okay, go away. No.
Okay.
Okay, here's the only thing left to do is, I have notes here. The only thing left to do is to change into crappy clothes to start out.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
Off camera.
Right now? Okay.
Okay. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do, now that we've got sloppy clothes, is do, like a dry run. But it's wet, so it's a wet run. Just to see how much volume we're displacing. Yeah, stand over here. How much water we're displacing with our hands. Okay, and now we are going to mix up the alginate. Now this stuff is old that I have. This is probably like 12 years old, so results are not guaranteed. Putting on some lotion. So as I mix it, it's easy to wipe off. And just stirring in the water, mixing it around. I'm getting a lot of lumps, so I'm gonna beat it with my beater. Okay, now we're gonna put our hands in slowly. We want to do it in a way that doesn't get lots of cavities inside. All right, that doesn't look good. See how much came off on your ring? A lot came off on mine. Right, well, we'll give it a try. Okay, we're going to mix up some plaster. This is a special kind that's called hydrocal, and it's just stronger than regular plaster. And you just mix it in like so. Pour it in slowly. I'm gonna try not to have it, you don't want to just like dump it in super fast. You want to shake it in to make sure it gets in all the little cavities. Give it some good tapping. Alright, now I've broken the pieces out. This is one of those molds where it actually gets destroyed when you're done. And here we go. And it's a mess. It's got like a seam here. Why is there a seam? I don't know. There's bubbles everywhere. This is just really, really not what you're supposed to get. So, oh god, yeah, the ring is awful. I'm probably gonna have to redo the whole thing. Well, redo the rings. I'm out of alginate, so I could go and get a kit like at the hobby store and redo it. But actually, I just kind of want to show you how to fix up one that doesn't look so great. So here's my ring. You can see it's got all the alginate caught in there, and that's why it turned into a big blobby mass. So just gonna clean that off. And this is what I'm gonna do with the bubbles. Just basically pop them off with this little tool. Yeah, and getting... boy, there's a lot of these. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. I'm kind of losing the texture. So what I scrape, I'm kind of scraping skin texture back in a little bit. The hydrocal's still soft enough that I can kind of mush it with my fingers as I rub it, so it's not super harsh lines. So that's working out pretty well. Yeah, I can probably do this. We'll just keep going. Kind of tricky getting over these veins here. This will probably work. I can make this work. I can do this. I can do it, guys. So, man, there's a lot. I'm gonna have to just completely remove the rings, I think. So yeah, just scraping these off as best I can. And I'll just have to rebuild them from scratch. Yeah, a lot more carving here than I was hoping for. Like, ideally when you get a store-bought kit, you're not gonna have to do all this finishing. But hey, it's valuable practice. Okay, so here's a test run that I did, and there's definitely bubbles on there, but look at the detail on the ring. It worked great. Anyway, I'm using this stuff. This is an epoxy clay. This particular kind's called FX clay. You just roll like a 50-50 mix, and it hardens in a couple hours. So I'm trying to fill in most of the voids, re-sculpting fingernails that are broken and stuff like that. Using a brush to smooth it out. Okay, now I'm going to make molds of my rings. So I start by filling them with clay, all the little cracks, so that the mold material doesn't get stuck in there. So this stuff is called clean clay that I'm pressing in there. I've got a whole tutorial about making molds you can check out. I'll post a link here. But yeah, basically making a mold box, hot glue it together. Now I'm using this platinum urethane. It's platinum based instead of tin based because I'm using a clear stuff in it, and the clear stuff doesn't work so great with tin based silicones. Okay, so this is Clearlight casting resin. I've never had resin not set up tacky, so I'm not an expert on this, but you know, every time I try I learn something new. So here we go. Stirry stir. Okay, let's see how these turned out. Looks pretty clean. I'm gonna be careful not to touch the surface with my fingers. Okay, just smoothing down the bottom here. I printed out this X, which is also the Roman numeral for 10. I thought it looked cooler than like just a regular number 10. This is just a template, and then I'll cut the wood to the shape. Gonna glue it down. Okay, now I want to position this in such a way that you can see both the rings. I kind of want a front sort of, you know, perspective where you can see both the rings and the hands look nice. Yeah, that'll work. Alright, time for cutting. So much cutting. But first, drilling! Alright, these look like they fit alright. Okay, I'm going to use this regular old cheap plaster of Harris here to kind of fill in this bottom area. So like the X has, it's just a depression is what I'm hoping to get. And just trying to squeeze it up onto the walls so it's a nice smooth transition. And squish these guys back in place. And smooth the material around them. Try to feather it into the wood. Okay, I think I really need to anchor these guys down, so I'm going to drill them into place. Not really happy with the finish that I have from the plaster, so I'm going to use this Freeform Air. This is another kind of epoxy putty, and I discovered this more recently. I think it will work better. It's more dough-like, as you can see. So So you just knead it up, 50-50 blend. You can smooth it with water. And I'm just going in and like filling out the bottom of the X a little better. And I could smooth it into the edges better too. Anchoring the screw bits a little bit better. And now I'm just using a soft brush to smooth the epoxy dough stuff into place. Like smooth it into the wood and into the skin. Alright, now for this ring, the reason that I cast these in clear was so this jewel, you know, there's a diamond in the middle, and I wanted it to look like a diamond. So I'm using this aluminum foil to back it so it'll reflect the light through it. See how shiny it is? Alright, this is my favorite masking material. It's literally silly putty because it can conform to any surface, it sticks pretty well, and you can kind of mold it around as you need to. So I'm covering up the part that's going to be a diamond. Alright, using my freeform air epoxy dough stuff to get the rings in place. Gotta sand these edges. I don't want it to look like wood grain on there, so I'm trying to get it pretty smooth. I'm priming this with this P3 primer. I smell so primery now. And I am going to paint in the cracks. They're just looking, you can kind of see white in the crevices. Okay, time for more priming. There's still a little rough patches here and there, so gotta do yet more sanding. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to mask off the parts, just the hands, because I'm going to put a like textured paint on the base, because I can't get it clean enough, and if it's textury you won't be able to see the little imperfections. Oh, and here we see if I'm ever like really hungry, I can cut off Heather's hand and my hand and stick them in a plastic baggie and have them for lunch sometime. It's good to know. Alright, using this hammered spray paint, hammered metal paint, and it just gives it a bit of texture. And now I'm going to use some gloss black. This is the stuff that you need for glossy, right? This is what you need if you're going to be doing like really shiny metallic silver over it. Okay, so back from the gloss coat, let's see how the metal works out for it. Okay, so I'm going to use some silly putty, mask off all the area that is not going to be silvery chrome, which is what I'm going to be doing over all of it except for the black base. Now I'm using the spastic stuff. I don't think I've used this before. Someone recommended it, so I'm giving it a try. It's supposed to be mirror chrome. And you do a bunch of very light coats. Alright, let's see what we got. Alright, I'm using this True Metal paint to do some touch-up work. I need to make Heather's hair gold. See, that's a little cameo inside my wedding ring there. That's like a portrait of Heather I did, and the hair is actually made out of gold, so I'm using this gold paint here. And I'm going to use some silver paint to touch up around the diamond on Heather's ring. The silly putty kind of got squashed around, so it covered up some areas. Just needs a little bit of touch-up work. No biggie. And finally, the cameo of Heather, her face is, it's not ivory. I don't believe in using ivory in jewelry. This is actually, not antique, fossilized ivory. I have a friend, Connie. She has done a lot of scrying, and she had some fossilized ivory that she let me have for this ring. So thanks, Connie. Okay, now I'm just gonna cut this piece out for a bottom part, just so it doesn't have that gross unfinished stuff on the bottom. Here's some random glue that I have. Looks like it'll work. Alright, squash it down. There we go. Okay, good and squashed. Super squashed. Squashy Joshy. Alright, so there you have it. The final beautiful 10th anniversary thingamajig. I hope it inspired you to do more personal gifts for people. I hope that it didn't terrify you from doing life casting. Trust me, it's not usually that hard. Again, just had to do with the crappy 15-year-old materials I was using, probably. And yeah, do fun stuff. Tell me about it. I want to see pictures and links and stuff to the cool stuff you make. And we'll see you next time. Bye.